Good afternoon, everyone. This is Barb with Lost and Floss. I have no idea what episode this is going to be. It's somewhere in the 90s. Not temperature videos, but this is first off, this is a channel primarily about cross stitch with a little bit of wool applique and possibly some quilting or another craft or two thrown in. Well, this last week has been just a blur, and so I've got so many things to share video-wise that I think I'm going to chop them into segments because it would just be way too long, and it's the only way that I hope I can stay organized with this all. Right now, I believe it's video 95 is live, which shows all my purchases that I made while staying at Country Sampler in Spring Green, Wisconsin, and then moving on to Amana, Iowa for the Farm Girl Retreat. So I guess to back it up a little bit, let me tell you how this adventure, I call it Valerie's stitching adventure, how it came to be. So as many of you know, but many of you don't know, four summers ago, my friend Leanne and I, who we were the founders of this channel, went to StitchCon outside Cincinnati, Ohio, and it was the first retreat for Leanne and myself. It was actually the first time we stitched together, which I think we documented in the video. And prior to that, we had gotten to know just virtually a couple other FlossTubers, and one was Valerie stitching in the barn. And so we had messaged back and forth and planned to sit with Valerie when we got to retreat. Well, I mean, it was like an instant bond between the three of us. We had so much fun with her. We knew she was a kindred spirit right off the bat. And I remember being in Keepsake shopping with her, and she was buying this Fractor Friends pattern. So I was, or chart, I was kidding her that, there were 2 Fractor Friends in there, and she needed another one for Leanne. Never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined that the next time I would see Valerie 4 years later, Leanne would not be with us. So while we were at StitchCon, we talked about Valerie coming to visit Wisconsin because she had heard of Country Sampler in Spring Green, and also the Farm Girl retreats were going on, and she thought it would be fun to go to that. So we kind of made plans to do that someday. In our minds, I think we were thinking the next year. Well, what we couldn't envision was the fact that Leanne would be gone so soon after, and it was just, and then followed closely on the heels of the whole pandemic where the world shut down. So Valerie and I have kept in contact over the years, and I think it was maybe before the holidays last year, she reached out to me and said she had signed up for Farm Girl Retreat and, was hoping that I'd be able to go too. So, no, it was before sign up. She had reached out to me. That's what it was. Keep this all straight. Anyways, she booked a flight, and I told her come and visit me, because, you know, I knew there'd be people here who would like to see her. She had met Roseanne from our stitching group prior at some other retreat, and they had become friends. So when Roseanne heard she was coming, she insisted on having a no fuss brunch for us. Yeah, I hate to see how she goes about it if she fusses, but that was right up my alley. So anyways, this is really getting to be long and drawn out. Roseanne invited us for brunch the Saturday that Valerie was here, and we were joined also by Lisa. And it was the first time I had been to Roseanne's house, so I asked her if I could record a little snippet of her samplers. I mean, unbelievable. So if you guys haven't seen that video, please, please, please take a look, because just phenomenal pieces. And it was getting too late in the day. Plus, we had a lot of glare on the samplers. So she said I could come back another time and get the rest of them. And so I'm going to take her up on that, because just, you know, unusual, gorgeous pieces. She's been stitching for years and just a very talented person. So anyways, we did that, and then we came back, and Valerie and we did some cooking to get ready for Country Sampler, and we packed up the car and a lot of food, and we headed to Spring Green, Wisconsin. Country Sampler has a little apartment above the store, so we met up with Dawna and Teresa and Lisa there, and just, I mean, shopped and laughed and cried because we were laughing so hard. Just had so much fun. And, you know, it's always great. People get back upstairs and then they do their show and tell. We go around the room, and then Michelle was able to join us, I think the third night, which we had so much fun, just laughing and enjoying the stitching camaraderie. It was just great. So from there, we moved on to Amana. Valerie and I stayed at the motel that was just across the street from the convention center. So that was very, very convenient. We had been watching the videos from the fancy bed and breakfast of the, you know, beautiful meals that others had been getting. So we just did little spoof breakfast videos. So if you haven't seen those, go to Lost and Floss 2 on Instagram. We got a lot of funny comments about them, just because, oh, we were just eating junk. I mean, it was like stuff that was left over, snack and sweet stuff. And I made myself some steel cut oatmeal this morning. And it's like, oh, it's nice to have real breakfast food. But anyways, just, you know, like crazy busy a week plus, and just like so much fun. Met so many new people. I can't say enough about, you know, I get confused about who's who, and but it was awesome. I just, you know, really had a fun time, and just so much fun spending that length of time with Valerie. We really enjoyed it, and yeah, I hope she comes back. So anyways, I don't know that my budget can handle it anytime soon, but yeah, as if you watch the other videos, I got myself into a little bit of trouble, but I had been saving up for this, so, you know, sometimes you just got to go with it. And not having these stores like where I can just jump in the car and drive half an hour to get to one, I think, you know, when you get there, you know that you got to go for it. And, you know, I do try to get my things stitched eventually, so I don't feel like I mean, I'm sure I have more than the average person, maybe not, I don't know. But I like to have finishing things on hand, and so it's always good to get that kind of stuff. All right, now I'm rambling, right? I mean, you might have fast forwarded through this all, but I'm just going to start showing you everything that I have to show. First off, I have to thank, I forgot to include this in my other video, but I sat next to Suzette, Primitive Stitcher. Oh my gosh, she is the hoot. And the night before we left for spring green, Valerie wanted me to watch her Morris video. Oh my gosh, if you haven't watched that one, it's, you know, from a while back, but please take the time. It's just hysterical, and she just, you know, remains very calm and whatever. So anyway, she makes these little floss books, and she gifted one to me. I love the whole concept. And so it's just on rings, and then you put your flosses in. So right away, I'm like, I found one of my pieces, Cranberry Christmas by Artful Offerings, that I opened it up and put all my flosses in. This I started last year around Christmas, and I will show you the chart. It's a really pretty one. And when I saw it at Country Sampler again, I thought, I gotta get moving on that one, because it doesn't look that bad amount of stitching, but I keep having to tear out and move things around, so it has been giving me a little bit of angst. But and I'm stitching this on 36 count 1/1 Patriots Brew, so I have a nice start. Can't see where I'm holding it up. Hopefully you can see that. This was a kit I got from Country Sampler, maybe last year or the year before. I bought a bunch of Christmas things. I guess I should, yeah, we'll do it later. I just like to try to keep my things together, but lost cause sometimes. Blackberry Lane Designs Gingerbread Mittens. And I've mentioned before that I stitch, or I buy gingerbread ornaments for my granddaughter. So I'm stitching this one on 28 count Phoenix Cashel. Or I say it double every time I show this thing. But I have the front done and moving on to the back. So I should just leave this one out and finish it up, because it's within the time frame that I should be able to get it done. And some of these, I'm not sure if I stitched on this past week, but I'll just show them again just so you know what's in my queue. Mary Noel Sampler. This is by Sandra Sullivan, Homespun Elegance. He just makes a very, very cute little pin pillow. I'm stitching this on 36 count Lakeside Light Exemplar. And I don't think I've stitched any further than last time I showed it, but I will show it again. And I think I'm going to put some of these in the pile that I need to at least stitch on them a little bit. We have Mary Mary Pinkeep, Stacy Nash Primitives. And this one I'm stitching 1/2 on 36 count Winter Brew. Yeah, these I really don't think I stitched much on since I last showed them, if at all. But you can hold me accountable and hope that I get something else on them by next video. And Then we move on to Over the Fields We Go. That's kind of haphazard. This is JBW Designs. Country Sampler had this done with red stitching. So I'm stitching it on 36 count weeks parchment, and for the floss I'm using Turkish red, which is the weeks floss. It's really one of my favorites. I was working on this last night. I really thought I could get it done sooner, but even though it's one color, it's, you know, counting here and counting there. And with it being red, I don't like to carry that too far. But, I think maybe another night or two, and I should get that finished up. I think I may have a picture of how they finished it. And if that's the case, then I will definitely show that to you. Leanne had started this Merry Yuletide by Brenda Gervais, and she had enough to go on it. I thought she was almost done, but that was not the case. I feel like I stitched on trees for 2 years. But anyways, she is doing this, or did this on 20, I believe it's 28 count. Like, somewhere I have the color. But it's humongous. So it'll make a nice size pillow, but I'm really done with the trees, the snow, and I was just starting on that, like right beneath his boot, the 1/1 and To All a Good Night. I toyed with the idea of not putting that on, but I don't know. I'm going to try it. I mean, if it's 28 count to do the 10 stitch, I hope it goes fairly fast. So only time will tell. No, this one I don't think I worked on. This is Gathering the Green Sampler, Stacy Nash. Even though I love this one, that gold house, I've been concentrating on some of the other ones. So I really should get back to this. Uh-oh, everything's falling out because I have my bag upside down. And really, like for me, once I get the house done, that's always the most counting. So I should just stick with it and get it done. Then at retreat, Beth Twist's Heartstring Samplery was the featured designer, and she designed an awesome chart for us, which I think I've shown in another video. And I had gotten this idea with Teresa Kogut. I had this kit from Country Sampler of Beth's Heartstring Samplery. I don't know how to pronounce this. Venezuela. I'll just hold up the chart. It's like people trying to say my last name. Anyways, this is the Country Sampler conversion. And I got the idea, and I asked Teresa Kogut to do the same thing, of asking them to put the first stitch in my piece. So right here is a tiny, tiny little start. You probably won't even be able to see it, but I have a little picture of each of them with my, let's see, where is it? Right here. So I love the fact that, you know, if you have access to a designer, that you can well, I mean, I don't know, like if 100 people had asked her to do that, she might not have been happy, but I just thought it was a cool thing to do. And I was sorry that Teresa Shakespeare Peddler was there, and I didn't have anything of hers that I could have asked her to do. But perhaps if I go to the next fall retreat, she would be there. So this one I know I haven't worked on. Did I work on this one? With needle and thread by Samplers Not Forgotten. I'll be as surprised as you to see. I think maybe I worked on this a little bit, but haven't gotten very far. I'm like Christmas all the way. In fact, I'm really thinking of decorating. I don't know. Like the years that I've done that, I feel sad to get rid of my fall stuff, but I don't have Thanksgiving, so it's just, it makes it so much more enjoyable during the season to have all that stuff up early and out of the way. I have not worked on the stocking at all, so hashtag let's not bring up the stocking. But I have worked on this happy morning a little bit. I'm getting is it a peacock in the urn? I should just like finish him, and I started on a tree. So, you know, once again, the barn renovated into a dwelling, a home. It's really a pretty one, but I know it's not even going to be close to being done for this Christmas. This one is Christmas in My Heart, 1843, another Sampler's Not Forgotten. As I'm doing this, I just want to stitch on these all. Crazy. Let's see here. Now, I think I might have stitched some since the last time I showed it. We are stitching this on 36 count baked clay. And I have a roof, and I have one of the windows. You know, it's like all of these I just want to keep pulling out and working on, but there's so many hours in the day. I did get a lot of stitching done while away, but I was trying to personalize the Christmas garden piece, and instead of like just taking the time and charting it out, I was kind of doing it haphazard, and then I wouldn't be happy with it and I'd pull it out. So I don't know how many times I stitched over that stuff. Okay, this one is another Stacy Nash Wonderful Life Pinky Drum. And I believe I got a little more done on this. I bought the check for the top for finishing. So, you know, it's getting there. I just probably should, another one, I should just keep with it for a night or two and see where I get. That's the stocking. Oh, this is the one that I bought in order to get Teresa to put the first stitch in. It's Remember Me. And just, I love it. Such a pretty thing. And all it has in it is one stitch. This is, let me see, Seraphim Antique Lace. And hopefully I can see where the first stitch is. So, oh, Valerie, you're in it too, so say hello.
Hello.
Teresa is busy putting the first stitch in my...
Is this which way is it going?
Well, I had the stripe at the top. Thank goodness it's red. I'd never find it. So, thank you to both Teresa and Beth for humoring me with that thought. Just will be helped me to know that not only did you create the beautiful art, but had a little point in my, or a roll in my stitching it. Okay, that one we haven't done. Oh, because I went to Iowa, I had to start a new prairie schooler. So, let's see. The one others voted on me starting is the 2011 Snowshoe Santa. In case you're new to my channel, anytime I just started this maybe less than a year ago. Maybe a year ago. Anytime I go somewhere out of the state, well, and I don't think it necessarily has to just be out of the state, but it's just worked out that well. I start a new prairie schooler Santa. So I have that little bit done. The other ones I'm currently working on are 2002 for my Boston, Maine trip. Oh no, that was Boston. And 1998 was Maine, because we were always worried about flooding. So I'm like, well, the arc is perfect. So that's the Boston one. And then this is the arc one. So I find, oh, wait. No, that's right. I find once I get started, now I'm not going anywhere for a little while. So I'll probably be stitching on the oldest of those three. And hopefully I'll get them done. I think I've showed you the two I finished this year. This was this year's 2023. And this one was from, I think it's 2010. I always put the year, 2 years, the year I stitched it and the year of the chart. So, let's see here. That I haven't worked on. What the heck's in this one? This I worked on, but I think I'm off. So, you know, the old timeout corner. This is Dear Santa 2006 limited edition prairie schooler. And I'm stitching this on, I believe it's 28 count raw, natural. And I got pretty far in it, but I think I'm off on the bottom part. So I need to spend some time getting that all figured out. But love that. And okay, let's see here. Oh, did I work on my friendship sampler? I don't know that I did. Let me look. I might have. So this is from our stitch group. I'm adding in a couple different colors, but I think I made a little progress since the last time. I really should just plan to do like one motif a night, and then I think in no time it will be done. All right, that brings us on to finishes. Well, not, these aren't fully finished, but I am excited about this. So the first one is one that Leanne had started and stitched on. And I don't know what year this is, but it's a prairie schooler. And I think I might just make this into a little pillow. I can, you know, just it makes me sad to look at this because like some of her stitches are, this wasn't, you know, she was such a beautiful stitcher. But you know, prairie schoolers are rustic and it'll be great. Okay, needlework by Kathy Barrick. This was another chart that she had in her stash, and I always loved it too, so I decided I was just going to stitch it. She had a piece of 40 count vintage country mocha in with it, and I decided, I realized I didn't fill in the inside of the stars, and then when I got all done, I'm like, oh, I didn't do that, but I tried one and I almost preferred it without having the inside filled in of those little stars. And so I've ripped it out and I'm like, nope, it's going to be done. I need to put a longer needle in. I think Colette and my stitch group did that. And I thought, what a great idea to have the real needle. So I'm just envisioning framing this in just a simple black frame. I think that'll be perfect. And then, and if you're interested, I've mentioned this a couple times. I use, I think it was Belsois Royal Icing. The Splendor for the green or the goldy color, it's S985, one strand, and then the NPI I used is color, let's see, it's in the black and white range, it's color 998, lot 09. It's, you know, it's pretty true to black, but I stitched it 1/2 and just love that one. I can't wait to get it framed. Well, I'll be framing it, but I can't wait to do it. That brings us to quite the eventful piece, and I felt like it was only right that I finished this when I was with Valerie. So what we're talking about is Christmas Garden. Many of you have seen this more than once. So when we were at StitchCon, Leanne bought this at Keepsakes, bought the book and kitted it up. She used a different red, and I'm gonna hunt sometime for the picture of how far she was when she stopped stitching on it. And so here it is in its glory. She had done most of the bottom. I did most of the top. She had done the whole vine going around. But to personalize it, I had all sorts of ideas. And then I'm like, let's just keep it simple. So let me see if I can find them from this view. Let me see. Okay. So I put my initials here, BW, because it needs a wide space. And then hers, LM. I was going to do the year we met, but I goofed up and I did instead our high school graduation year, because that was like very meaningful to us. And then I put the year she started it, 2019, and the year I finished it. So I have this antique frame that I'm still hoping that this will fit into. I mean, this is one of the pieces that probably of her unfinished stuff that means the most to me. The fact that it really was divided pretty equally, half and half, and that was a lot of our friendship. You know, we were good at doing things together and sharing. And you know, it's just going to be one of those things that are so special for me to have up and framed on the wall. I can't wait to see it. So if that frame doesn't work, I might take it in and have it framed. But I'm, you know, looking at the calendar thinking, I need to get on this because not too much longer before Christmas. And most of you are shouting, oh, there's plenty of time. But, you know, like, you want it done and, you know, done in plenty of time so you don't have to worry about it. But, so that's what I've been working on. As I mentioned, I really hope that you take time to watch some of the other videos. It just was such a special week to me to be together with friends and be inspired. And there's just like, I was walking around at the retreat just because it's hard to get to talk to everybody and just to see what people are stitching on. And, you know, some people are very focused and, you know, maybe not as social. And, but it was like, I got into some lovely conversations with people. And I know I didn't get to talk to everyone, unfortunately. And you know how that is. Like when I meet so many people at once, I get confused about who says what and who you are and whatever. But just had an amazing time, and just seeing the talent in that room. I mean, the gift exchange, which I'll throw a little video of at the end. I mean, there wasn't anything in that exchange that wasn't like high quality stitching. I mean, everything was just beautiful. And I did not participate in the gift exchange. I just did the smalls. But I mean, I was kind of dying because the things people did were out of this world. I didn't have time to think about it ahead. And what I was thinking I thought was kind of a lame idea. So I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it. And, but I was very envious when I saw some of the things people got. But anyways, you know, there's always next time, right? So, I'll probably be doing some finishing next week. I've kind of set aside that week as my focus on getting some of the stuff backlog done. And I have a few things of my friend Lisa's to finish up for her. So I thought, you know, I'm just gonna clear off the dining room table and maybe bring my machine down and just go to town. You know, I just love to be able to leave it spread out and not have to worry about picking it up and whatever. So I think next week's the week for that. I'm trying to think what else is going on. Oh, I had yesterday, and maybe I'll put a few pictures in our area to raise money for charities. Some person will open their house up for, I don't know, a couple. I think it's like a week or two that it runs, and decorators will come in and decorate one of the rooms for Christmas. And it's just amazing, the creativity and beautiful things that these designers come up with. So this year the money, it used to go to breast cancer, but now the money goes to the Ronald McDonald House, you know, another great cause. So it was really fun to see, you know, what they came up with. I'm always like thinking, ooh, how can I use that idea in my house? So, but I was thinking I have like some new spaces this year. So it's always kind of like, you don't know exactly how it's going to work out to to get your decorations out. And of course there's some new things and some things that maybe you don't have anymore. So I'll just keep plugging away and see when I get those bins out and get going on it. So let me think. I think that's about it. I still have all my laundry from the past week and seasonal dishes to put away. I like to bring, you know, things in pretty dishes when I travel, which, you know, most people don't need to do, but I just think it adds a welcoming touch. So yeah, I think that's about it. I'm really rambling. So, but basically, since these videos are going to be chopped into little chunks, please take a look at the other ones if you want more of a view on the things that came from the retreat. And don't forget to check out Roseanne's stitching pieces, because you are going to be amazed. Like, I can't say enough. I mean, just make sure you take a look at it, because phenomenal stitcher, and just, you know, unusual things that she has. So, okay, that's it. So, take care and continue to fill the world with love. Maybe I'll be back before Thanksgiving. I don't know. We'll see. Bye-bye. Okay, I have all this stuff just piled on my dining room table, and there were so many people who dropped things off at our places, and you couldn't even say thank you because you didn't know who they were. And I tried to go around and thank as many people as I could, but if any of you are watching, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I think it's so fun to see the creativity and what people come up with. So Teresa Kogut, when we were at Country Sampler, she gave each of us a framed piece of her Santa, and love that because that's really true. Michelle had made some soap. Valerie had lavender to fill a pillow with. Got these cute little scissors in a polka dot case, which I just love. Little tags with some candy, a pen, another one of Teresa Kogut's postcards to frame, a beautiful little, you know, like floss thinger holder, candy, lovely Tiffany's like box, can never go wrong with that. Some floss tags, a little pin cushion. Michelle gave us each like a bag of finishing accoutrements. Teresa Vinette gave us some, we could pick out a color of X-Jude design floss. This cute little project info cards. Look at this bear with a needle threader and a needle. There were seam rippers and more scissors, a little holder for Kleenex. I think it's Kleenex, yeah. Look at this guy. Loved him. You know, anything vintage, right up my alley. Valerie made this for me because a lot of times I will hashtag go barb go. So that was really cute. And then she filled it with some goodies. So I can't believe that I didn't jump into that. And then I'm so sorry, I forgot the name of the woman who stitched this. I picked it in my exchange gift, but it's just so darn cute. And this cute box that it came in. So I apologize, I can't remember your name, but you know, you meet so many people and it just gets somewhat overwhelming. Not somewhat, I mean, I feel bad because I love talking to people, and but then it's like, you know, you forget who's who, and oh, and this is a great thing. It's like a project card for the back, the little library card, and these are for weeks. So it gives instructions. You just like take the adhesive off and put them on the back of the little tags to make them more usable. Oh, and then going over here, oh, you guys. Okay. Oh, and this cute little well, I mean, I think of it as like a coaster, but I probably would be pinning needles and stuff in there or putting floss on it. Many uses, but you know, cute little fabric that kind of shows a bunch of cities and places, and yeah. So I think I showed another floss tag. So this is all sorry, all on my dining room table, but and then Valerie came to stay for a few days, and she gifted me this beautiful Florence Mary Dickinson, this little tray, all the silks, this beautiful, I think it was Tabby Cat, linen. I mean, I just can't wait to try this because it's so different than a lot of the things I have stitched. And oh, it had this also with it. Pretty cool thing. Oh, and my gift exchange came in this. And then, oh, this is the chart. So it's, oh, it's Tabby Cat linen creme brulee. And this was the box that Beth twists. Oh, I'm like, not here. Let me turn the light on. I'm kind of like in the sunshine and not in the sunshine. Let's see. I don't know if that really helps, but look at this. It's just, it's really, really beautiful. And it goes around on the side. And then this is cool because it stays up like that. And then in class we covered our little boards that'll fit in, but so this piece will be for the stitch piece. And then this is the print sheet I picked out. But I'm gonna glue mine better. My glue stick was not securing it as tightly as I would have wanted. But just, I mean, everything was so color coordinated and beautiful, and I can't imagine having to make 100 of these boxes. I mean, just really exquisite, and even my husband said, oh, it's really well made. So anybody who does that kind of work can see what a quality piece it is. So that will be, and there was a printed bag it came in. And then Roseanne shared with me something she got from, and probably you guys will shout at me because I'll pronounce her name wrong. Katie Strachan. When she was at the attic, she had this beautiful kit, and you know, Roseanne has younger children and works full time. She's like, I know I will not get to this in the near future, so she wanted me to take it home and try it out. But I'm like, oh, little nervous because look how beautiful that is. And just, you know, find exquisite things. I mean, her packaging is just so beautiful. So I think it's like a silk gauze, if I remember right. And so I thought, well, heck, I'll try it. It's just fun to try something new. And then let's see. Oh, I think I forgot this. This was also very pretty. A ancestor photo with some little candies, Hershey Kisses. Can't go wrong with that. And then, so really, really cute stuff. But this is what my dining room table looks like. So I really need to put some of this away. Oh, and I broke out the turkey mug this morning. Had a rude awakening not having the fine breakfast Valerie and I had been feeding ourselves. If you haven't seen the reels on Instagram, go take a look under Lost and Floss too. We had a lot of fun doing them just to show what we were having for breakfast every morning, because it was a lot of finishing up bits and pieces of what we had previously had. So, all right, well, I think I'm going to call this an edit, and maybe, between her and Lisa's beautiful things, I was just so thrilled to be able to see, well, Lisa's I had seen before, but to see Roseanne's for the first time. Just gorgeous, gorgeous. So I think from now I'll go to my whips and my finished stitching pieces. So thanks for watching this little snippet of, fill the world with love, because these people did not have to do all this. I mean, I can't tell you, what so many memorable things that I'll always think of the retreat and the people who were there, which is really the most important thing. Just can't say enough about the generosity of people. So fill the world with love and come back to the next video to see what I've been stitching on. So I thought I'd share my finish of the little pillow piece that I'm going to use for my exchange piece. The chart is Stacy Nash Primitives, December 25th, Merry Christmas Pin Keep. And this is what the chart itself looks like. And mine is a little bit, well, I mean, I stitch it all the same, but the one thing I did afterwards is I brushed some walnut shells on just to make my snowflakes and the snowman pop a little bit. So I love the look. It just gives it such a vintagey look when you kind of antique it afterwards. I just don't know how to describe it. I guess because you're going around, you can almost see like the line under the 25th, but you're going around the pieces or the stitches to make them pop more. So, and then I just simply added some fabric on the bottom. The rickrack is the old stuff from my box. It was a little bit bright, so I just keep a little jar of the walnut shell mixture in my craft closet, and so I just took a drop and put it in the cover of the jar and added some more water and just lightly brushed it on the rickrack, even once it was in place. So very happy with how that turned out. And I hope whoever picks it in the exchange will like it. I love the back. So this is the back on it. I just made a patch out of the bottom material. I realize I really need some new pinking shears. Mine are really, really dull. I don't know if you can have those sharpened or not, but so I just put a patch over where I turned it for stuffing, and then the button is out of my button jar, and just very happy with how that turned out. I love this paisley fabric. Well, I love paisley anything, so that's right up my alley. But I'm happy that I remembered to take a little video of this so that you guys can see it as well.
Okay, because I don't start in the center, so that freaked me out.
Sorry.
Hello, everybody. I'm an idiot.
On the spectrum, probably not.
Of this crowd.
We've had some other comments the last few days that have been pretty funny. So I decided to ask Teresa to put the first stitch in my project because I thought that would be a very nice remembrance of these past couple days, which have been awesome. And
So fun.
the project. Would you like to hold it up, Dawna? You're so good at modeling things.
Dana Lightsky.
When this you see, remember me.
Hope it looks like a glass of water.
Can I pan to your other people? Is that okay?
Sure. Sure. Cover my breath.
Lisa, would you like to do some whipping?
Whip it good.
Okay. Is the X complete?